Hey everybody, welcome to episode 131 of the Rise or Die podcast, Stopping My Own Death. So here's the deal. When I was back in Michigan, which obviously I'm still in Guatemala, I'm sure you can tell, but when I was back in Michigan, I would work from home, which meant my commute to work was the process of getting out of bed, walking through my living room and into my office. And it sounds kind of nice and fun and whatnot, but honestly, it was freaking miserable because I was stuck home literally all day, every day. Now I would try to go do something here or there, try to get out of the house, get some fresh air, so on and so forth. But it was really difficult. Like there were days where I literally did not leave the house. And being a very active, being a very ADD type person, it was miserable. But here's the thing. So I'm in Antigua, Guatemala. The internet everywhere just blows. Like at home, I get 150 megabytes per second. If you don't have a reference point, that's really fast. Here, I get like 4 to 10, somewhere in that range. So we've been going around trying to all different places, all different coffee shops, offices, co-working spaces, etc. And we can't find any internet that actually works for us. So I had the brilliant idea of staying right at my home. I brought the entire team over, and our first story is big enough for everybody. It's plenty of room. The problem is it's 3:30 in the afternoon and I have to stop myself from going postal because I'm cramped, it's dark, it's very hot. They don't have air conditioning in Guatemala for the most part. Very few places do. It gets very, very, frankly, dreary. So I'm finally getting a little bit of sunlight and trying to amp up my spirits. Here's one of the things that every entrepreneur seems to fail at. Actually getting outside, getting a breath of fresh air, changing their routine, and being able to get their head on straight. Now, I mention that phrase a lot, get your head on straight, whether you watch my Instagram lives, Facebook lives, or during this podcast. I mention that a lot. Basically, what I mean is not going postal, right? So if you have the same routine day in and day out, like I did back in Michigan, get up out of bed at 4 a.m., walk into my office, and around 4, 5, 6, 7, typically 7 or 8, walk back out, go have dinner, work a little bit more, and then go to bed. That was my routine. It was miserable. But I'm not alone when it comes to how entrepreneurs operate. See, you feel like you have to work 24/7. You feel like you have to just crank out more. There's never enough. And sometimes that's just the truth. You have to do more. But you also need perspective. You also need to change up your routine. You also need to get some fresh air. Getting fresh air, like literally, I'm not talking about like just stepping back from work. Get fresh air. It is beautiful here. I get to look at volcanoes. I get to look at different landscape. It's beautiful. And it enables me to come back down to earth, kind of get out of the weeds of work, and actually start to figure out, okay, get some perspective on here's what's next. Now let's talk strategy. Let's do this. Let's do that. As opposed to I need to make another call. I'm going from meeting to meeting to meeting. I need to talk to my team. I need to do this. I need to do that. The same routine every single day won't serve you. Staying inside your house or your office every single day, day in and day out, will not serve you. You won't have the ability to create space. You won't have the ability to create new things at work. You won't have the ability to perform to the best of your ability. So although from time to time we're going to work from my home, I will do anything and everything that I can for the rest of the evening to actually get out. I need to recalibrate my mind. I need to make sure that I'm in a good spot so that tomorrow I can do it all over again. Now, I'll switch up my routine. We'll go to in fact, we have decided we're going to a different coffee shop. Yesterday I was at a different one. Today I'm at home. Doing something this simple. In fact, let's apply it to you. Doing something like taking a different way to work, or going in half an hour later, staying half an hour later, or conversely, going in an hour earlier and leaving an hour early. We need to do things that change up our routine. It gives us perspective, keeps our brain flowing, keeps the creativity going. That is how we need to operate. You can't do the same thing day in and day out as an entrepreneur and be successful. So this applies for the most part to being. In being, What are you going to do differently to kind of recenter yourself and make sure that you're good mentally and emotionally? Emotionally is a big factor as well. It's not just that I sit at my desk or, well, in this case, my kitchen table today, and I think, okay, there's so much to do. Like, what am I going to do? No, it gets gloomy. The dark has an effect on you. Sitting in the same spot has an effect on you. You don't operate at the same high level that you normally do. So in being, what are you going to do to recenter yourself in the next 24 hours? Not 24 to 48 like I normally say, but literally in the next 24 hours, what are you going to do about it? Now that's it for episode 131. As always, do everybody else a favor. I get nothing out of this. On YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. On iTunes, make sure you give us a review. Those are the only ways that people are going to hear about Rise or Die. And we need as many men and women as possible living the Rise or Die attitude, the Rise or Die lifestyle, so that we can see big changes across body, being, balance, and business, and not just one individual, but families and compounding from there. So with that being said, talk to you tomorrow.